Cake.
It don't matter. 18.
I don't know how many it is anymore. We're taking so many time.
Two Blue Fred here.
Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. We're going to walk you through a beginner's guide to attending Daytona Bike Week in Daytona, Florida. We got a bunch of tips and information that we want to share with the viewers today.
Absolutely.
Why don't you walk us down the highlights of what we're going to cover in this vlog?
In today's vlog, we're going to go over the best lodging prices, the best party locations, the best entertainment, demo rides, the best roads in Daytona,
There aren't any.
concerts, other adult entertainment, the local dealers, famous bars, how to find the concerts and stunt shows, traffic, how to get around it, how to move in Daytona. We're going to talk about the racing and historical locations in Daytona.
So there's a lot of information to cover. This is going to be a good video for you guys who have never been to Daytona Bike Week, or if you've been and you just haven't quite found what you're looking for, and you're looking for, you know, where the heck can I find some good adult entertainment?
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time doing some research. We looked into it and we found some of these tips and tricks, and we're going to share those with you today. So stick around as we jump right into this. So obviously the first thing you need to know when you go down to Daytona Bike Week is you got to find a place to stay. Tell us a little bit about how we can find some lodging and where we could get some good deals maybe.
All right, first of all, you got to decide if you want to stay in a motel, an RV campground, or if you're just going to tent camp. There's several options either way. You can always go to Google Maps and just type in what you're looking for, motels, campgrounds. I will tell you, there are some motorcycle-specific campgrounds to Bike Week. Fast Lane Campground is one of them. Moonshine Campground is another.
Our favorite.
The Cackleberry Campground.
Cackleberry.
That would be the place to stay if you're into the nightlife, adult entertainment side, and we'll get into that later.
I like the nightlife. I like the boogie.
Fast Lane Campground, tent camping right now is like $15 a night, and RV with a 50 or 55 amp hookup is about $55.
How do we find a good hotel, Blue?
All right, so usually I look for the motels every year, and as soon as we get back from one bike week, I start looking for the next bike week a year in advance. That's about all they're going to let you book out. So I just get on Google. I may hit Trivago. I may hit Priceline. Just whatever it takes until I can find a price where the motels haven't jacked up their prices for that bike week yet. Once the motel has that bike week outlined, then you're screwed on prices. You got to get in there before they do that. So that's why it's imperative. As soon as you get back, start looking. All right, let's talk about traffic. There's kind of a knack to getting around in Daytona. Daytona is great for keeping traffic moving at these locations, like at Destination Daytona, down on Main Street, any of the hot spots for Bike Week. They're good about keeping it moving. However, if you leave the track at, say, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when the entire track shuts down. And everybody from there is leaving. Everybody from work is leaving. So how do we avoid getting stuck in all that?
So we've used a couple of tricks. You know, Daytona, for the most part, is laid out in what you would call your typical your grid pattern, right? You know, you've got roads going north-south, you've got roads going east and west. We've identified a couple of decent roads that will move through and get us from the interstate 95 all the way down towards the waterfront. Not quite to A1A, but all the way down towards the waterfront. And we can move through and get away from a lot of stuff. Like Blue mentioned, you leave the track and you head down the Speedway Boulevard, heading back down towards the ocean, and you do this at 5 o'clock, you're going to get stuck trying to get to Main Street because that's where everybody's going.
Or your motel, because a lot of people stay on the beach side.
Absolutely. So anything trying to get down in that direction, you're going to fight it a little bit. But if you just go over, you know, and find a street, like 2 streets over, and you head down towards the waterfront, and then you get back over towards the Main Street, we've had a lot of really good luck avoiding some of that traffic. And Blue will get up on the CB and be like, man, this traffic sucks. And I'm like, dude, take a left, man. And that's what we do.
Yeah. This year, Google is indicating that the Orange Street Bridge is now open. It's been closed for years. They rebuilt it. That is a great way to get over to A1A versus down Speedway Boulevard. Everybody's on Speedway, not many people on Orange Street. That's usually your locals or the people who are in the know.
Just open up your Google Maps, look where the traffic is red, and, you know, like I said, 1 street over, 1 street up, you're probably going to wind up with some decent luck. As if you're going through some of these residential areas, don't be a meanie. Don't
Turn your stereo down.
Turn your stereo down. Don't get big up on your pipes. None of that stuff. Because that's going to cause, the locals to come out and barricade the streets and force you to some other options. So
and they already do that sometimes.
Yeah, so just be nice, right?
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
Let's talk about Main Street.
Main
Cops.
Street. Oh, Main Street cops. Okay. If you're out cruising Main Street, okay, you're going to run into the law. You and I had a conversation with some of the peace officers on Main Street, and we asked them, what are you guys looking for? What are you guys after? You need to have on eye protection. Prescription eyeglasses are good enough, and you need to not rev bomb your shit.
Rev bomb, they will chase you down.
They will chase you down. And they may not give you a ticket. They may give you a warning, but they're definitely going to pull you over. They're going to run your plates. They're going to run your license, etc. Now, the one thing that we have noticed that they don't seem to care about is loud stereos.
Yeah. Bang it as loud as you want.
Roll up and down, thumping your favorite song, a little bit of Back in Black, a little bit of whatever makes you happy. Enjoy it. Now, if you start doing reckless driving, like, wheelies or anything stupid like that, you're going to get pulled over no matter what. So don't be stupid like that.
And I'll just say this. If your bike is not totally 100% legal, don't go down Main Street. They're going to get you. If your license tag is expired, they're going to pull you over.
The blue lights up and around your bike, they don't like those either. You need to avoid those colors as you're on Main Street because they'll pull you over and they'll be like, yeah, you got to turn those off. So keep that in mind as well.
And while they're doing that, they're going to run your license.
And they're going to check your bike and they're going to pull you over and make you drop your drawers and do a full colostomy. So make sure you've taken an enema before you go down there and get that done.
Bike Week is also a great time to get things installed on your bike. I know that's mostly a Harley thing, right? Some gold wings, but if you need a new stereo put in, if you need a new exhaust put on, seats, handlebars, things of that nature,
pinstriping.
You're right, lights are very popular down there.
Yeah. So just any kind of, you're looking for an accessory that you want to get installed, or you need an oil change or some new tires. You can find places that are set up to do that kind of maintenance, as well install customizations, upgrades, whatever you want on your bike while you're down there. But one thing you need to keep in mind if you're going to do that install, you need to call them ahead of time and you need to check out their schedule. If you show up on Friday to get your stereo installed, which is something that we did,
good luck.
Good luck. They may tell you have to come back after Bike Week because their schedule is already full for the week. We got an upgrade done on my radio when we were down there just in October for Biketoberfest. And Blue was scratching his head looking at stuff and getting a little jelly. And he was like, man, can you put in some lowers on mine? She's like, not this week, I can't.
Yeah. So what else did we find on Main Street?
Down on Main Street, they got all kinds of contests and concerts as well.
Tons of concerts.
So you got your wet T-shirt contest, your best bun contest, your bikini contests, stuff like that. You got bartenders that'll get down there and you give them a little tip and they'll take your belt off and they'll spank you with it.
Rub all over you.
Rub all over you. We had some of that happen to one of our buddies, TJ, down there. It was a good time. We got some video evidence, so when he does decide to get married, that's something we're going to use for blackmail material. Keep that in mind. Other things that are going on, concerts, man. Tell us a little bit about some of those concerts that go on.
Well, typically during the day, you just have house bands or cover bands or something like that. You really got to get down into the nighttime before you hear anybody you've ever heard of before. They'll often bring in big names, one or two here and there. A lot of 80s bands that you haven't heard perform in 30 years.
And they might not should be performing anymore.
That's true. But
we loved them in the day. Don't get it twisted, but
right. There'll be one or two that's current on the radio right now. I know they're not on the radio, but we're always down at Main Street Station, typically Monday and Tuesday night. COVID, who knows what the schedule is. But the Moonshine Bandits always play Main Street Monday and Tuesday night. It's the best time of the week, I think.
Absolutely. Moonshine Bandits is a great show. They'll show up with some other names in the industry. Big B.
Yeah, David Allen Coe rolled out on stage.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another Two Blue Fred favorite, and that's the demo rides.
Absolutely. Demo rides are are awesome, and they really have them set up to do well in Daytona. So if you're looking or in the market or just want to try riding a new motorcycle, the demo rides is something that you need to check out.
Absolutely. And this year, Harley Davidson's Pan American is probably going to be for demo. It may be hard to get in line to get on that bike.
We're hoping it's for demo because we want to try that sucker.
Absolutely. I'm Joan. That's the most excited about a bike I've been in a long time.
Yeah. Harley really sets the standard. For the way that Harley does it is different than the way a lot of the other bikes places do it. Harley and Indian are kind of in the same boat, kind of. But Harley is really taking it up a notch. So if you want to go and test drive a Harley, you're going to have to go down. You're going to have a driver's license with a motorcycle endorsement.
Absolutely.
Okay?
A helmet and gloves also.
You go down and you fill out a bunch of stuff. They give you this license, and then you just stand in line. If you want to ride the Fat Bob, or you want to ride, the Road Glide, or you want to ride the Trike, you just stand in line. And as soon as that bike comes back in and there's nobody in front of you in line, you jump on that bike and you go out. There's no tour guide that you have to follow. You follow a predefined path that they've labeled with some arrows, some orange arrows in and around the Daytona area. It usually takes you around the backside of the airport and then comes back up.
It's kind of twisty. There's a couple turns you can really lean that thing over.
But after Harley, Indian does something sort of similar. But you go in and you give them your information and you stand in line and wait. You start to get down to Yamaha or Honda or Kawasaki or some of these other bikes, and it's really, you have to get there first thing in the morning.
So if you're looking at Suzuki, Kawasaki, Yamaha, specifically at the track, you need to get down there at 8 o'clock in the morning and get your name on the schedule. If they only have one bike, they may have three, but depending on what model you're looking for, if they only have one bike, that bike's only going out about 8 times that day. So you need to get your name on that list early in the morning to ensure that that bike's available for you.
And they only take appointments for the day of, so it's not like you can get there today for a ride tomorrow. They won't do that. And these rides are also guided rides. You've got a bike in front of you.
Yeah.
You got a bike behind you. So your ability to kind of, really see what you want to see about it is a lot different in these kind of tour guided rides.
So Honda is about 45 minutes away down to land at that local dealer. Honda of DeLand, I believe is what it's called. You have to make your way down there. They also have a truck set up with lots of bikes, but they also do a schedule based. But there's not nearly the amount of people that go out there. So it's a little easier to get on their list, but you still need to go early and find out what the schedule is, get your name on a list.
The last one we want to touch on is BMW.
BMW is hit or miss when they're going to show up. We haven't paid that close attention to it, but there's been plenty of bike weeks when they weren't there, but Biketoberfest they were there. They're never at the track. They're at the local dealer, Eurosports, which is right there on Beach Street.
If you're heading down to Main Street, you're gonna be pretty close to the BMW dealer.
Yeah, just Google it. You'll find it. But by far, the most popular demo rides are the Harleys.
This year, we've only got a couple of bikes on the radar that we want to look at. The new Pan American.
I want to try out that new clutch with the cable.
Every single year I go, I got to ride a Fat Bob. I don't care.
We showed up at Disney to ride Space Mountain.
Yes.
That's our Space Mountain.
And you cannot demo Harleys and not try the Fat Bob. Yeah. Along the lines of other fun daytime activities, you've got a couple of different things going on in the area. You've got some poker runs, and you've got this little scavenger hunt. Blue, tell us a little bit about those things.
All right, so the local Humane Society does what they call rough ride, and that's to support the puppies.
Yeah, the rough means puppies.
Right. So we like to go down there and participate in that. It's $20, maybe 15 if you register early. It comes with a T-shirt. There's several stops that they want you to go to and pull a card, and then you all meet up at the Iron Horse Saloon that night, and you have all 6 hours to do this ride. You show up before 8 o'clock at the Iron Horse, hand your slip in. It comes with a free meal provided by the Iron Horse.
A little bit of barbecue. It's good stuff.
Yep, you can sit there and listen to the concerts while you eat. Actually, we won something last year.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. So we participate in it. That was last year. We got this numbered bottle of Richard Petty whiskey that we're planning to take down to the Richard Petty Museum, get him to autograph it. They got some decent prizes, but you're really doing it for the puppies.
And it's a good time, and you support the local Humane Society.
And there may be some other poker runs in and around the area, but that's the one that we've participated in. It hits real close to home.
We also got the treasure hunt from the Welcome Center. I always recommend going to the Welcome Center. They have a pocket guide of the happenings around Daytona for Bike Week, but inside that pocket guide is also a treasure hunt. It includes 10 to 12 locations maybe around the city. Some are places to eat. Some it might be a Budweiser tent down at Destination Daytona. Anyway, you go around to all these locations. Each one has their own unique stamp. They stamp your card, and once you have your card filled up, you bring it back to the Welcome Center, and you get this neat little gold coin that Blue's going to show you.
This is a little coin right here that you get. It's a numbered coin by Amsoil. This is number 520, and it's got a stamp, Daytona Bike Week 2020, and it says up at the top the 79th annual Bike Week. We really enjoy this event because it gives us something to do.
Yeah, when you got nothing else going on, that's something you can go do.
Yeah, and there's no time limit, so I mean you can, if it takes you a week to get it done. The only thing that I would say that if you take a long time to get it done, these are numbered. They're going to run out of them at some point. I don't know how many they've got. But, getting it done, kind of quick in the week, if you do want to make sure you get this coin, is something you might want to get done a little bit quicker.
Yeah. And if you're collecting poker chips from the Harley dealers, that just really adds to the collection.
Yeah. In case you're looking for something that, isn't necessarily purely biker related and you're looking for other attractions that may be in and around Daytona, tell us a little bit about some of those attractions.
Yeah, there's a pretty good list. NASA, right down there in Titusville.
Where they launched the Saturn V rockets, the rockets that took us to the moon.
I already looked, and there is not a rocket launching this year during Bike Week, but about 2-3 years ago, there was. And it was awesome to see. I wish they were doing it again this year. Ace Cafe down in Orlando, they're always doing exotic car night, van night, Mustang night, bike night. There's a lot of things going on down there. And if you've ever heard of Ace Cafe from the original one in London, you're pretty close to this one in Orlando. You might want to go check that out. There's also a Birthplace of Speed right there on A1A. It's called the Orman Garage. There's a Daytona 200 monument if you're into the motorcycle racing. There's also Speedway tours if you want to take a tour of the Daytona Speedway. And while you're there, there's the Richard Petty driving experience. If you think you can navigate one of those big muscle cars around the track, this is your opportunity.
Yeah, it's not actually something that Blue and I have done.
No, I don't think I could fit through the window.
Well,
it might be hard for you too.
It might be hard for me too. It might be hard for me
I'll
too.
cut that out.
No, it's all good, man. You can leave it in. It was really funny. But yeah, if you want to get down there and just drive a NASCAR, if you can fit through the window, which the Two Blue Fred, collective may not be able to do, it could be fun. Where else are they going to let you drive a big old fast car around a track?
Oh, and your favorite thing? What's your favorite attraction?
We did this back in 2010, 2011 time period.
Yep.
Just south of Tampa, there's a railroad museum. And if you give them an amount of money, they will let you drive a train. We did it. And if you've never driven a train, it is exactly as cool as you think it is, or more so. There's a lot of sideshows in and around the area during Bike Week. Some of them bike themed, some of them not bike themed, but they're all fun to attend. We've been to some arm wrestling ones. We've seen some wrestling. We've seen some of our favorite form of wrestling, which is midget wrestling, because who doesn't want to see midgets wrestle? Right?
Which, I've already looked. This year, 2021, Cackleberry's going to have midget wrestling.
Stunt shows, guys doing wheelies, guys, getting out doing burnouts, stuff like that, showing you what the bike can really do. Indian does a stunt show down there.
Last year, Harley actually had a demo spot beside their tent that was showing off the RDRS. I don't know if they're going to do it again this year, but they had sand out there, and they would just run through the sand in a turn. and let you actually see for yourself how that RDRS worked. I was very impressed.
Yeah, it's a cool demo. The other thing that we saw was a mini bike race.
You actually participated in it.
But your arm wrestling and some of your wrestling events are going to happen down towards Destination Daytona. Your other stunt shows are going to happen in around either at the track, the Indian dealer, some other areas around. Another side show is the Wall of Death that they've got set up down at the Cackleberry, as well as the
Iron Horse.
At the Iron Horse. One other side show that you could actually participate in is biker games, old school biker games. The chick grabbing the hot dog off the back seat. Your slow roll contests. A little bit of zigzag contests, stuff barrel roll,
ride the 2x4.
Absolutely. So these games are usually put on by a group called the Leather and Lace Motorcycle Club. They call it the Leather and Lace Rodeo, and it happens down a little bit south down in Edgewater, Florida. So if you're looking for something like that, if you just do a search on Leather and Lace Biker Games Daytona 2021, it's probably going to come right up. So those are just some of the sideshow type of events that are going on that we've been to and that we enjoy. You can always check out the Pocket Guide and check out websites and some other locations that we're going to talk about a little bit more.
Yeah, things typically change year to year.
Yeah.
If they have it this year, don't mean they're going to have it next year. Keep that in mind. But your Pocket Guide, you're going to be able to find out exactly what you want.
Yeah. So some other cool things in and around the Daytona area is racing. Blue, tell us a little bit about some of the racing events going on.
Bike weeks have always been started due to the racing. I mean, Sturgis has the hill climb. Daytona has the Daytona 200. It has a motocross race. Ricky Carmichael usually, his name's usually attached to that. There's a Volusia half mile.
So in and around the Daytona area, there are a lot of bars.
There's a lot of bars down on Main Street. The big ones being Main Street Station, the Boot Hill Saloon. Froggies is always a good time.
Froggies.
Dirty Harry's. I've got a huge list here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but some of the top ones you might want to check out. Be the First Turn Lounge, the Iron Horse Saloon, definitely. Beaver Bar, Broken Spoke, Last Turn Cafe, the Cabbage Patch, the Cackleberry, Annie Oakley Saloon.
Food is important, and there's a lot of places to eat around. We've even come across a couple of places to give us some free breakfast.
Free is for me. Always, every morning down at Destination Daytona, inside the dealership, they always do a kegs and eggs. And it starts at 9 o'clock every morning until it's gone. It's usually eggs mixed with sausage, hash browns or hash taters, and then all the beer you can drink until it's gone. Yeah. It's a great place. There's always a couple places doing free biker breakfasts, like pancake breakfast. Usually they're looking for a little donation, something like that. Just look in the Pocket Guide, and there'll usually be one or two. Adult entertainment. I know it's your favorite subject.
I'm an adult. It can be my favorite subject.
I like to be entertained.
I like to be entertained. I'm entertained a lot. I am completely self-entertaining.
Where's the best place in Daytona?
Oh, before we jump straight to the last chapter of the book, let me just give you a real quick synopsis. There are a couple of places of where to find adult entertainment. Main Street will do some PG-rated adult entertainment in the form of wet tea contests, bikini contests, maybe best buns contests, stuff like that. But if you're looking for something that is a lot more than PG, and I'm talking R plus, getting into a little bit of single X maybe, the Cackleberry Campground. And we are not in any way affiliated with the Cackleberry Campground. We are not receiving any kind of funds for promotionals. However, if the good people at the Cackleberry Campground want to buy a free beer, they probably should. The Cackleberry Campground. The Cackleberry Campground has a lot of stuff going on all day long. Starting around lunchtime, you're going to start to see some bull riding events. You're going to start to see some wrestling events.
Bikini bike wash.
Bikini bike wash is going on all day. Wrestling. We saw some wrestling down there one year. Slime wrestling, which is always fun. These two chicks get in there and they start sliming it up. Now, the Cackleberry Campground is right across the street from the Cabbage Patch. The Cabbage Patch's claim to fame is their coleslaw wrestling. If you want to go to the coleslaw wrestling, get there early so you can reserve a spot, and keep in mind you're going to be at least 100 feet away from any action. So you might want to bring some binoculars with you so you can actually see what's going on.
And a chair.
But going back over to the Cackleberry, they'll do the slime wrestling, and then they'll do some other adult style entertainment. But when the sun goes down, that's when it starts to hit, man. The sun goes down, and you get into your wet T-shirt contests. You get into your Daisy Duke contests. You get into your
which usually leads into a lap dance.
They all lead into a lap dance. Every single one of them. What are you talking about? They all lead into a lap dance. So
you got the money, honey.
Yeah. Bikini contests, pole dancing contests, just all sorts of cool things. The wet T-shirt contest is easily our favorite. We like it a lot. We can't show you any of the footage of the wet T-shirt contest because literally these girls jump in the pool and then freak, and you're like, I'm staring at boobies. And we all love boobies. We all love boobies, except YouTube. YouTube hates boobies. We can't show boobies on YouTube. The Cackleberry Campground is the place for adult-style entertainment during Daytona Bike Week. If you've been to Bike Week 10 times and you've never once stepped foot in the Cackleberry Campground after dark, do yourself a favor and try it out.
Something else you can do during the day, if you like to collect the poker chips, or you like going to different dealers in general.
There is representation of every single major motorcycle dealer in and around the Daytona area, so keep that in mind. But one of the things that Blue and I really like is we like collecting these here poker chips. I showed you guys that just a little bit earlier. I'm going to show you it again. This one's from Greensboro, North Carolina. So it's not in and around Daytona, but it's the same style chip. Every single one of the Harley dealers that we ever been to has these poker chips. And Indian, we saw, starting a couple of years ago, is starting to copy Harley a little bit more than they've done, which is what they do. But they also have some poker chips as well. Haven't seen any at any of the other dealers, but we really enjoy collecting these poker chips. But in and around the Daytona area, within a day's ride, and I mean, I'm talking like a 6-hour day. I'm not talking like a 12-hour day. There are 16 Harley-Davidson dealers. So if you haven't started collecting your poker chips, or you just want to go get some different Harley t-shirts, because everybody buys a Harley t-shirt. I got one on right here. There's a lot of dealers in and around the area. Some of the big names, they're like Seminole Harley-Davidson.
Seminole, Miracle City, and Space Coast Harley. They all do Bike Week stuff during Bike Week, whether it's the demos, concerts, other forms of entertainment, food, vendors. So if you're looking for Bike Week stuff, at least hit those 3 dealers. But there's a ton of other dealers: Gainesville, Crystal, Newport Richey, Burt's Barracuda over in Tampa. One year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, Miracle City had their grand opening, and they brought in Emilio Riviera, also known as Alvarez on SOA and Mayans.
Great guy. Just the most friendly individual you can imagine. I mean, we were down there with another buddy of ours, Phil, and he just sat there and he chatted with us, man, just like we were drinking buddies. It was just really, really cool.
It was one of the best, probably the best celebrity
experience that we've ever had. But this guy, he was just super friendly, just very nice. Maybe the only one that would top him, he would top him, Crucifix.
Yeah.
A little bit of devil in the fireball.
Yeah.
Crucifix. Got a signature from Crucifix right there.
Yeah, Crucifix.
Yeah, Crucifix would be the best.
Yeah.
He sat with us at this dealer, Thunder Tower West, down in Georgia. He sat with us for 2 hours.
Easy. And went for a ride with us.
And just shot the bull just like a normal guy, man. It was just so cool.
But I bet Emilio would have done the same thing had there not been a crowd there waiting to see him.
I would agree with you completely.
I got the same vibe from Emilio. He was just a good dude, very humble.
Yeah.
And appreciate the position he was in.
So, Blue, I know what these people are asking, because I asked the same question. How on earth do we figure out what is going on during bike week and where do we go to find this information? This guy right here, man, is the master of Google Foo, but it still took us a little bit of time to figure out where some of this stuff is. So Google, why don't you tell us, man, how were you able to collect all this information and put it together? What were your sources, man?
All right, so this is what I do. First of all, I check out officialbikeweek.com. That's going to be the earliest you can get information. From there, I'll look at Biker Pocket Guide. They'll put a PDF online. You'll be able to pick it up once you're in Daytona from different locations, motels. Also, just going to the Welcome Center and talking to those people where you're going to get their pocket guide, which will be different from the Biker Pocket Guide. The two different sets of information. Also, Facebook. Main Street Station does a really good job on keeping their Facebook page up to date on what they're doing. Iron Horse is more of a web-based off their website, so is Broken Spoke. There's just a lot of places to gather the information. I would try Facebook because most people try to keep their Facebooks up to date. So if you're trying to figure out when Cabbage Patch is doing the coleslaw wrestling or something like that, what concerts they're having, check their Facebook. Main Street Station, definitely check their Facebook. But these pocket guides, the website, officialbikeweek.com, and then just a lot of individual places. I always check Main Street Station because we're always going there. They always have good concerts. I know when the contests are at Dirty Harry's. So we've kind of got it figured out. But if you're out there still looking, either take note of some of these places we've told you about and search their Facebook pages, or just Google Cackleberry events.
Yeah. And we'll put some links to these different websites down in the description, some of them, but a lot of them you're just going to have to go onto your Facebook and do some searching and find some stuff.
Sure. And also note that the pocket guides are often wrong. I've seen many a pocket guide wrong on a time. Mm-hmm. So that's why you need to check the Facebook pages where they show their schedule. Never forget the dollar beers at the Cackleberry. Just go over there where they're bikini washing bikes. Mm-hmm. Dollar beers.
Yeah, right there up at the front. This guy, we usually get him, I don't know, $20 worth of beer?
At least.
He likes to drink.
Well, another thing a lot of people do at Bike Week is they like to go around to the vendors.
Yeah. So a lot of the big name vendors, Harley Davidson, obviously, JP Cycles, Kiriakin, Zero, they're going to have booths or tents set up where you can go and check out their product. You can get your hands on them. You can see what they look like. And a lot of these tents have bikes set up in the pavilion where they have some of these parts installed on the bike. So you can kind of get a visual of what the part looks like on the bike. Lights like the Custom Dynamics folks or the Kiriakin folks or the Zero folks. They're going to have a bike in their tent that's tricked out with all their different lights so you can see what they look like on. All right, so one of the takeaways that we hope you've gotten from this video is there is bike stuff galore going on during Bike Week. Every time you turn around, there is something going on. There are bikes everywhere. I mean, if you're looking for like a trike or a big wheel bike or a banging stereo or, lowrider bikes or sidecar bikes, or you're going to find it.
There's a show for you.
There's a show. They have all these shows that specifically focus on just those style bikes. But if you just walk up and down Main Street, you're going to see bikes everywhere. You go out to the Cackleberry, bikes everywhere. You go out to any of these bars like Dirty Harry or the Iron Horse, bikes everywhere. So we hope that you've enjoyed this video that we've put together. We're filming this inside of the clubhouse. We got our wall back here that focuses on some of our celebrities that we've met and signatures, but we really hope that you've enjoyed this setup. We've enjoyed bringing you this information. Some of the stuff right here on the table. Just little props, stuff that kind of line up our favorites. Of course, what every man on the world is after. If you're ever down in and around the Outer Banks, you owe it to yourself to go to a place called Biscuits and Porn. It is a real place, right here, and you can get a drink right there. I'm not gonna say it because YouTube, but right there. You know, we got a couple of patches and some poker chips and stuff like that. So these are just some of the items that we've collected
over the years
in our 12 plus years of motorcycle travels together. We've been in a lot of places, we've seen a lot of things, and we've had a lot of really good times. And that's really what the whole Two Blue Fred channel is about, is us two silly motherfriggers getting out there on two wheels, having a good time.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
And we went to Bike Week for many years. I really wish somebody had put a video like this out back then.
Absolutely.
It would have helped us out a lot, trying to figure out what to do, where to find the information. So I'm hoping this helps 10 people at least.
Yeah. And if you've got something that we missed that you want us to call out, leave us a comment right down there, because we will read it, we'll respond to it,
Yep.
and we'll get in touch with you. If you're in the Daytona area during Bike Week 2020, Two Blue Fred is going to be there. We're rolling down on Sunday the 7th. We're going to be down there through Thursday. That's just the way our vacation schedule and some other things worked out this year. But we're going to be down there. If you see Two Blue Fred while you're rolling around, come up and say hi.
Say, Two Blue Fred, I need a beer. I will buy you a beer. First 10 people.
First 10 people. This mother is going to buy you a beer. I would look for us. I mean, who doesn't want a free beer?
I know.
Yeah.
You.
Right? Well, you buy me a free soda if I did it. Beverage of your choice. He'll buy you the beer, I'll buy you the soda. How's that? How's that? Right? So this is Two Blue Fred. We appreciate you checking us out. We appreciate you watching this video. If you didn't watch it all the way to the end, you didn't see anything about our free beer offer. So
That's right.
we hope you're still here.
Also, if we have missed something on this list that you really enjoyed, that you think everybody should partake in, leave that in the comments too. We're always looking for something new and exciting.
Absolutely. We'll go check it out. We'll do a video and we'll put it up on the web.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And after Daytona, there'll be a ton of videos coming out of Bike Week.
All these events that we just told you about, I mean, the production schedule is full.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe so you can check those videos out when they come. You don't want to miss it.
So as always, guys, we really appreciate it. This is Two Blue Fred. Freaking ride every day.